Welcome back to Fire Princess Reviews. I'm Fire Princess Lily here to tell you about comics, cartoons, and other awesome nerd stuff. So, today we're talking about the LEGO Movie 2. As we mentioned in our last video, that's what we'll be discussing today. I know that everybody's kind of already talked about it, and I'm late on the bandwagon, as usual on this channel. But, you know, it's okay. I still want to talk about this. I still want to do this. Maybe you haven't seen it yet. Maybe you're like, I don't subscribe to a lot of reviewers. And I don't know how many people actually watch my videos, like, on a regular basis. We're trying over here, right? That's all we can do. But maybe you look at this because you haven't taken a look at my videos in a while and you just want to see what I like or how I feel about this particular movie. Which, welcome, thank you for reviewing. Here we are. Yeah, so what do I think about the LEGO Movie 2, the second part? Is it as good as the first one? Well, if you're watching a lot of other reviewers, which, you know, it's fine. You know, there are really good ones out there. I'm blanking on her name. I think it's called Cell something. But I really like her. She's kind of got, like, a super realistic attitude about animation and animation videos. Lindsay Ellis is a great reviewer, although sometimes I don't think necessarily that she does a lot of current movies. Like, I love it whenever she reviews a Transformers movie with Andre of Black Comedy. But there you go. There are others. I'm just not thinking of them right now. Otaku Mike, he has a pretty nifty review channel. He's short to the point, too, which I know that a lot of people would rather prefer than listening to me ramble for like 20 minutes an episode. But, hey, you know, whatever. Maybe I'd be better suited for podcast form, but I doubt it. Anyhow, because I like being in front of the camera. So, yes, I'm a narcissist. How do I feel about this movie? That was the original question, and I led into this whole thing because there are other reviewers who have already reviewed it, and they'll tell you the same thing that I'm probably about to tell you. It's a good movie. It's just not as good as the first one, because how could it be? More or less. There was a big shoe to fill in terms of sequels, more or less. Like, how do you follow up a nearly perfect LEGO movie? There had never been a LEGO movie before, and for the first one to have been so well executed in the manner that it was, making a sequel hit just as well was nearly impossible. But does this mean that this isn't a good movie or isn't worth your time? Absolutely not. It is absolutely just as much worth your time as the first movie, yes, even though it isn't necessarily as good, because maybe the message is a little weaker. We've also had several LEGO movies aside from, well, we've had a couple LEGO movies aside from the main LEGO movie. We had LEGO Batman, which was really great, really hilarious, and then LEGO Ninjago, which was, you know, I didn't watch it, but I haven't heard a lot of good things about it, so that is totally up to however you feel about it. The Cinema Wins guy really did enjoy it, but he enjoyed it in knowing that he didn't really actually watch the original TV series, so he had sort of like a grain of salt approach. Like, it wasn't bad, the effects were good, but it was heavy-handed in places that it was really bad at being heavy-handed at. But we're not here to talk about the movie. So, if you haven't seen the movie, you don't want to see any spoilers, there's going to be spoilers in this video. I can't help myself. And also, when reviewing something, you kind of do have to spoil a little bit. I don't know how Andre does it. Like, he does it really well where he doesn't spoil anything. I'm just not that person. Like, at all. I guess I could try, but I'm lazy. So, there's that. I will let you know before we get into, like, the super big, heavy spoilers, because we are going to go into those, because I need to talk about it just a little bit because of stuff. But if you don't want any spoilers, even minor ones at all, my review, plain and simple, here we are, 5-minute point. Watch the movie, it's good. 8.75 out of 10. The animation quality, of course, is spectacular, great. The script is really good. And the message is a little different from the first movie, where the message was Lego can kind of bring a family together. This is more about growing up. This is more about growing up and putting away childish things, including the feeling that you have to live up to other people's standards for what's appropriate for you to like, such as Legos. If you like Legos and you're getting older, that's fine. People judging you for that is not fine, and you need to learn to separate the two. So, and that's kind of the theme running out through the entire movie. Also a little bit of the family coming together portion, but not so much. Because it's all told, sort of, from the perspective of the child of the first movie, who's now older and now likes grittier, more realistic things. Because as we're told as we grow up, life is gritty, life isn't clean, and so to show that we're maturing, it's important for us to acknowledge those sorts of things and like those sorts of things. We're gonna put down the Hello Kitty. We're gonna put down, My Little Pony. We're gonna put down Tiny Toons and all that cartoons and stuff like that. And we're gonna move on to like watching serious dramas and serious movies like The Matrix, which is a super cool movie that older kids get to watch. That's a line from the movie. So just to kind of show you where we are in the head of the teenager, preteen child. And the movie opens up right from the get-go at the end of the first movie, with the Duplo block people coming, and then there's a big fight. Boom, but. And the fight continues on until Bricksburg is no longer a thing, and it's now Apocalypseburg. It's all gritty, Mad Max style. Like, if you've seen the models for the toys for this, you kind of already knew that somewhat already. Unless you've only seen things from the Sistar system. Like, take that for what you will. If you want to know who the other human character is in this movie, it's his little sister, who maybe doesn't have a good grasp of boundaries, and is always taking the bright and colorful pieces, leaving him with the darker pieces, which is working well for his apocalypse fantasy that he's creating with these Legos. And in Apocalypseburg, everything is decidedly not awesome. It's the apocalypse, after all. The apocalypse isn't awesome. Unless you're one of those weird people who hope for the apocalypse, then I suppose the apocalypse is awesome for you. Whatever. So everybody has a grittier attitude, including Surfer Jeff, who's now Chainsaw Jeff, for example. The lady with the million cats is also, her name hasn't changed, but all the names of her cats have changed to like things like Axe Face and Sword Tail and Murder Face and, things like that. And Jeff, of course, Jeff. But, while everybody else's outlooks have changed to a more grittier, we have to be tough and serious now because we're growing up. Emmett's perspective is still that one shred of childhoodness that maybe the protagonists yes, he is the protagonist. Maybe that the male kid is holding on to. The brother is holding on to like this one thing, this one shiny ray of hope, who still likes pop songs like Everything is Awesome, for example, because that's what Emmett is listening to while he goes and fetches Lucy coffee. He's listening to an Everything is Awesome remix. Sorry, excuse me. So, boop. Emmett doesn't want to change because he knows that everything can still be awesome. Even in this kind of area, yes, everything can be awesome. Here he's made a house for Lucy and himself to live in. It's got a double-decker porch swing. I don't know why either. It's got a cat room for Unikitty. It's great. And she informs him, like, look, it's real nice, but the aliens are just going to come and destroy it. He's like, well, maybe they won't this time. He's got a real hopeful outlook. Now, what happens is the aliens, they show up. And they actually kidnap Wildstyle, Unikitty, Metalbeard, Batman, and the spaceship guy, Benny. His name is Benny. I was having trouble. They kidnap them to go back to the Sistar system for a wedding. There's a big wedding dance party that they're invited to attend. Now, Emmett had a dream. He had a dream that them disappearing would start the effects to Armageddon, which is a terrible name for any kind of apocalypse. But there's a reason for why it's called that. We're not really going to talk about that. So he converts his destroyed little house that he made for Lucy and himself into a spaceship to chase after them, to go through the ethereal doorway, or whatever it's called. The Stairgate. It's called the Stairgate. And spoilers. This is where bigger spoilers are about to start happening. So, if that's good enough, if that's enough to get your attention to go see the movie, go see the movie. If you want to find out more about what happens, or maybe you've already seen the movie, continue watching. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. He fails. He fails at catching up to the ship that took his friends. His ship nearly gets destroyed until Rex Danger Vest appears, blows away a comet. You do kind of see that in the trailers, and invites him onto his amazing ship full of raptors. It's also shaped like a giant fist. Why? I don't know. It's supposed to be cool. It's not cool. Now, Rex explains that he also used to live in Bricksburg, but for reasons he left and got trapped under the dryer. It's like called the Dry Star system or something like that. And he was exiled there, and then he learned to channel his anger and fear into being able to be a master breaker. Like I said, we're getting into like the bigger spoilers here, so if you're still here. And he's willing to help Emmett get his friends back. Now, Friends and company, a Wildstyle company, are in the Sistar system being told, yeah, there's going to be a great wedding between Batman and Queen whatever wannabe, or whatever watabi. Like, it's basically translated to whatever I want to be, okay? I'm really bad at it, pronouncing it. Yeah. And there's a great song that leads into it. This whole thing's sort of a musical, so if you're not expecting that, I probably should have mentioned that beforehand, but all the songs are fun and good, so enjoy them. Yep. So Wild Sounds Like This is, like, super weird because she just sang a song about how she's not evil. I don't trust this lady. And now we're gonna get into, we're going to get to, like, the big, like, thing, the big plot point, the big twist right now. This is where the twist is, because we're going to skip a whole bunch and just get to the twist. So, if all that was fine, but you still don't want to know what the big twist is, even though, if you really think about it, you can kind of figure it out throughout the movie. But if you don't want to know, click away. Come back when you're done, and when you're done watching the movie, and see what it was. See what I felt the big twist was, and you'll know what the big twist was. So, right. 1, 2, 3, we're into it. Wildstyle thinks that they're evil. Of course, because they sing a song about how they're not evil and they're all good. They all go to, like, a spa, and there's she feels like her friends are being brainwashed because of a song called This Song's Gonna Get Stuck Inside Your Head, and so on and so forth. And other things are happening with Emmett and Rex. They almost get the same song put into their head by Superman and friends. He's now Silly Man. But yeah, the big twist is that they get there to save their friends, and Lucy has basically gotten away from their other friends because they've been brainwashed, and she meets up with them, makes a plan, and it turns out, big twist, they're actually not evil. Like, there's a front part in the movie where Emmett tries to give the Duplo blocks a big Lego heart to show, like, we're friendly, we're friends now. And it turns out that that's what is, that's Queen what wanna be. Whatever I want to be. Whatever. However you want to say that. I can't say it. That's her. Because the brother tells the sister, this can be whatever you want to be. And whatever you want it to be. And so she's actually the first thing that they ever gave. Like, it was a big misunderstanding in the beginning that led to them fighting because the Sistar System Lego people are really bad at communication. So, yeah. So Rex Dangervest, he's the villain because he's actually Emmett. Oh my goodness, he's a future displaced Emmett who failed at coming and saving his friends from the Sistar system. And now he's here to set everything right so that Emmett will grow up to be him instead of being happy-go-lucky Emmett. He'll grow into Rex Dangervest. There's a whole thing, and then it doesn't quite work out the way he thinks it will. Of course it doesn't. But what can you do? Like, it ends in a really paradoxical way where Rex, Back to the Future, so he pulls a Marty McFly's and fades into obscurity. But if he fades into obscurity because Emmett never becomes him, then he would have never saved Emmett. It's a whole paradox, right? It's a whole looping, repeat thing that I necessarily didn't care for, but I liked at the same time. And that's kind of the Lego movie. Well, no. I liked the Lego movie too, the second part. I want to put that in front. But there are parts of it that maybe you won't find nearly as charming as the first movie, and maybe the original song is better for this movie. Yeah, so there's that. Just because the lesson is kind of not everything, like, the lesson is, you know, to keep doing whatever you enjoy. Like, if it's not hurting anybody, if you like Legos and you're 50, like Legos and be 50. It's cool. But the other lesson is, everything's not awesome. But that's okay, too. Not everything it can't be awesome all the time. There are going to be down parts. There are going to be down parts in life, and you have to learn to accept those as part of the background noise of life and get through them together with friends and family and people you care for and your pets and things like that. Like, that's what the movie is kind of about, is learning to live through the down points in life where things aren't necessarily awesome, but still come out the other side with a positive sort of outlook on life, that life can be better so long as we continue to work together towards that goal. Whew, that was a lot to get to in 18 minutes. And yeah, so go see it. Enjoy it. I've spoiled the big twist at this point, but I warned you before I did. I actually recorded 10 minutes of this previously where I went ahead and spoiled the big thing immediately, and I felt bad about that and re-recorded the whole thing. So that's where we are. What are we talking about next time? Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll see How to Train Your Dragon this weekend, and we can talk about that next time. But otherwise, we'll have something coming up, and hopefully we'll get back on track with our video schedule soon. It's been kind of weird around here, and so that's been kind of putting a wrench in all our works. But we're going to get back on track. We're going to get videos pumping out like we should be, and so I hope you stick around for that. But until next time, enjoy cartoons, enjoy comics. Said that backwards. I do that all the time. But enjoy them, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!